A look at what's going on with Tropical Storm Chris. It's right on the edge of becoming a hurricane. It's not quite there yet. It's got 70-mile-an-hour winds. There's an upper level low here. That's going to move on out of the way. It's not going to bother this thing at all. This is going to eventually just end up zipping on off to the northeast and missing us. Here's the latest on what's going on with the storm as of the 11 p.m. advisory. 70-mile-an-hour winds, almost a hurricane. Got to be 74, really. Stationary, is not moving at all. It's basically been looping on around right under here. This is the past track of the storm. But where's it going from here? Well, it's going to start kicking on off to the northeast. So by Tuesday evening, 80-mile-an-hour winds, Category 1 hurricane, and moving to the northeast. It'll zip along after that. There's where it is by Wednesday evening, 90-mile-an-hour winds, and then it heads on up into the Canadian Maritime provinces and the North Atlantic. Hopefully, it makes its way all the way to the British Isles. They've been under a heat wave and no rainfall for a while, so they could really use some rainfall and some cool breezes on up into there. Here's what's going on with the forecast models. Very, very uniform on where they're putting this storm all the way into the Canadian Maritime provinces, so I'm not worried about it at all for us. And I'm not worried about the remnants of Beryl either, and it's not even a tropical depression right now, just some slug of rainfall, especially over Puerto Rico. This could reform and drift northward, but chances are it won't develop into much of anything. It's going to stay well on offshore. And again, Tropical Storm Chris is likely to stay far enough offshore not to bother us at all. Winds have dropped considerably. Now, seas are going to drop a little bit coming up in the next couple of days. Now, as we still got a tropical storm out there, so it's still going to pick the seas up. So it's kind of questionable as to whether people will be able to swim or not. But again, it looks like it'll be a little bit better for the day tomorrow. Here's where we are Tuesday morning. Before 7 o'clock, it'll drop to around 58, 59, up to about 66, 67 degrees near the shoreline by tomorrow morning. Into the upper 80s once again for the day tomorrow. As we are by Wednesday evening, we move on into Wednesday morning, Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Cool front is dropping on in. It's not going to cool things off immediately, though, and we could see a stray shower during the afternoon hours. As we are 4 in the afternoon, it'll be in the upper 80s once again for the day coming up on Wednesday. How about Thursday? Around 80 degrees. Really, really pleasant weather coming up for Thursday and for Friday. A little bit more cloud cover. Starting to warm back up again for the weekend. I'm going with 84, and then it'll be back on up there during the afternoon again on Saturday a little bit. But then on Sunday, we'll likely be into the upper 80s for the area with more of a southerly breeze. So here the next 7 days. It'll be warming up considerably for the day tomorrow. Slight increase in humidity. On Wednesday, 30% chance of rain. That's not a big chance of rain. Chances are it won't rain. 88 degrees. Cools off for Thursday and Friday. Dries out too. Air should be nice and dry again. And then working our way back into the mid to upper 80s by Saturday and Sunday.